Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Royalty Trades, man. Let's see how many people we got in the chat so far. See who all loading up. If you in the chat, man, what's up? What's up? Allen stocks was good. mRNA, e.l.f, AI, BITF. Shedrick, Straker. What's good? Hey, Spy was insane. I'm kind of anxious to see what we had tomorrow, which look like we might head up a little bit more. We do have more room to the upside, but it'll be interesting. I think futures was down a little bit last time I checked, barely. Um, $2 at the moment. As you can see, it's reclaiming the trend. But we'll see how it lines up if we can reclaim these further trends to the upside and see how that goes. Let me write down Moderna, e.l.f, AI, e.l.f. Cool. Um, and I will look at the SPY and Qs too. Oh nah, you all good. You say you blasted with multiple. It's all good. What's up, royalty? Colin Bixler. What's good, fam? Hope you are having a good week. Indulge me and look at deck. Write down deck two. If you're interested, I think we're primed for a reversal. 55 million and 77 million in dark pool transaction this week. I'll check it out. What do you think of AVGO earnings tomorrow? Thanks, Kelly Wu. Um, it's kind of tough to call earnings right now, honestly. Nvidia had a very, very solid earnings. Went green in every way possible with great guidance, and they still ain't go nowhere. So we just saw Marvel tank. We just saw Marvel tank, and I think it was down to like semiconductors. Yeah, we see Marvel tank right now. It's sitting at 77.50, 48. So I mean, they went green on both sides too. I'm not sure about the guidance, but I mean, it's kind of hard to call earnings right now for anything. So, am I in crypto at all? Not really. I might pick up some Bitcoin, a little bit here and there every once in a while, but mm, I think it's a good thing to kind of treat like an investment, like a long-term investment, because you might go a whole year without seeing any returns until you have like a run like we had previously. So I have a little bit, but not a lot. I've never been the the crypto person. I tried to buy a little bit of XRP, but I think you just gotta time them things right. You gotta wait on a good bottom to get good opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So I have very very little bit of crypto. All right, so got about 26 people in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. If you're from after hours, I hope you guys get some good guidance from the pre-market analysis in the mornings, and help give you some guidance throughout the day. So I try to keep them up. First ticker I'm gonna go ahead and check out. is Moderna. I haven't looked at it in a minute. I think it was like $30 that. Whoa, yeah. Okay, so it is still around the $30 range. Um, Moderna isn't really healthy just because it's a vaccine stock. You got RFK Jr. in the office now. As we all know, he's very anti-vaccine. Um, Moderna was actually one of the first stocks that I invested in because I started trading right before the pandemic, and since I was so green, I was very unaware that I was jumping into a buying opportunity when the market flushed like it did. So looked like Trump on his way to doing the same thing he did to the market last time. Insider buying was interesting today. Hmm. All right, so let's see. Moderna is. Let me get these deviations out of the way. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll I'll set a GAN fan level up for it, and then you stuck with a 60 call for September on Moderna. I mean, you're gonna need something. You're gonna need something to push you. You're gonna need a catalyst. They're gonna have to do more than just probably vaccines. They're gonna have to do um, yeah, they're gonna have to do more than vaccines in order to get something moving. They're gonna have to come out with something. Arpin Jane would love to understand how you do your TA. That's what I'm here for, man. To see if I can give shed some light on my style of trading. Um, I did announce on After Hours that I would be doing a mentorship that I'm working on. I'll be teaching 12 styles of, well, the 12 styles that I know of trading, from gaps to Fibonacci, standard deviations, FVG, EMAs. It's gonna be a gang of trading, and then how to use them in Confluence to actually trade levels. And if you follow me, then I'm a postal worker, so I don't have the actual pleasure of trading from a PC. I have to do everything from my phone, and I have to, you know, break down charts in like literally in a couple of minutes. But that's why it's important to prepare and know your levels ahead of time. So if you're watching me right now, what I'm pretty much doing is I'm drawing what I like to use is the GAN fan, and it's the reason why I like this one so much is because the levels are pretty much solid. They don't move, they don't fluctuate, they don't repaint. Um, they pretty very impressive. I appreciate it. And then I run a Discord, the Kingdom. So I know some of you guys might be in there. Um, I run it with trying to make it New Fish Big Pond, Fridge Financials. They're all in there and have a ton amount of information. So they definitely help me out with the educational part. And then, I have my alerts from my trading view that's on here. I have it synced to the Discord. So the alerts that I get, it sends it to the group also so they can get my notifications that comes to me, and that helps out a lot too. But yeah, you have to learn how to adapt when you can't really trade from a PC and you got to do it on the move. So, but still breaking down Moderna. The game fan, what I like about it, it's not a lagging indicator. It's actually true to price. So the way that I'm drawing it out right now, I'm starting at bigger time frames because I always want to catch the bigger moves. And then once I catch the bigger moves, um, let's say right now we're drawing it out and we're seeing a bottom right here around like the 28.75 range. Cool. Um, Once it forms and holds the bottom down here, And let me scale in just to make sure that this is pretty much all I want to lock in with. Looks like a temporary bottom. So as of right now, we're seeing a bottom hold around this 28, mid $28 range. Cool. These gaps right here, which is the gaps indicator, right here is just a simple trade view indicator, and what it does is it automates and pop up these green and red boxes anytime there's a price imbalance and the price gaps up or down. These boxes pop up. As you can see, these are normally red, but since my fan levels are red, I try to color coordinate so it stands out more. But it's all about using levels of confluence. So as long as we hold this 28, $29 range right now, when it retests these levels, then you can take a $36 strike price. Or if you want to go longer, you can take a $52 to $53 strike price. All the way back up to here if the prices start to recover. What are you going to do when Elon gets rid of the USPS? I doubt it. We contract. They're going to have to get rid of the union first, and then once they get rid of the union, then I have something to worry about. But it is what it is. Good thing we got the market to fall back on. But this is why I like the GAN fan. So I go and I add deviations to it, and what deviations does is it gives you a 0 and then it gives you a +3 and a -3. So of course when you get down to -3, then of course that's going to be an indicator for it being oversold. Once it gets up to a +3, that means that the prices are getting kind of hot. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to drop straight down, because these prices on the deviations do fluctuate. But once it starts getting up here, you start looking for prices to start to come back down and retrace a little bit. As you can see, that +3 kind of lines up with this gap down right here. And normally when the price gaps down, it fills the gap, but you make it to where it's resistance. Gap downs are always going to be resistance. So anytime I look at a chart or somebody asks me to look at a chart, I'm always looking to see how healthy the price action is by looking at the gap downs long term. So like I was telling you, when you start seeing prices lose levels through gap downs, kind of like we saw with the market and the DeepSeek scare, then it makes it harder for the prices to actually recover until it has a solid catalyst or something like earnings or something comes out. You know what I'm saying? So right now with Moderna, hey, don't have any tickers, but listening. Oh, what's up, Fridge? I was just telling them about, the guys that helped me out with the Kingdom Discord and everything. Um, and you were one of them, of course. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with Fridge Financials. Follow his YouTube page. He drops very solid educational content probably every other day. So, but yeah, once you see gap downs in the price action, you will see prices eventually trade back to the upside. If prices don't gap back above this level, you'll eventually see a price come back down in order to find some liquidity, find some more buyers, things of that nature. So if we backtrack, we see how the price gap down from up here. It traded halfway up and then it finally sold back off. This was actually a tug of war between bulls and bears. You got the gap down over here, and you got the gap down right there. So it's actually kind of a tussle. And then once you start drawing the GAN fan, you start seeing how the price respects different levels. And these levels are pretty much Fibonacci levels. So if you ever used like the vertical Fib levels, they almost work similar to that. Um, and then you just have to trade it, the price action, in respect to time. So if you see it bottom out to, like I said, it's 28.50, 29 level, then you'll want to take a $36 strike price if you want to go out the money. And put some time on your contract. You don't always have to trade in the money contracts. As long as you have a solid trading concept, you can always figure out how to trade or how to pick out the money strike prices with nice volume, nice open interest. I always look for 1,000, above 1,000 volume and open interest on both contracts. Look for a decent delta and a decent theta on your contracts, so that way um, you can actually make profits. I always like to tell people in the Discord, make sure you have a respectable delta, you know, anything above 20 for the most part, and then make sure that the theta is below the delta, because you don't want to be swing trading and you're already trading out the money. So you're looking for an attempt for this $37 price range. You don't want to have the theta so far gone to where every time you swing or every day you swing is eating your profits up. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you have enough time on your contracts for the price targets to actually hit. And then you want to make sure that the delta is respectable. So that way, when you do swing back for the fences, um, that you're actually making money when you're trading and you're just not holding it and allowing the theta just to eat away at your contracts. You feel me? So, um, Moderna right now is headed back up toward $37 range. That's going to be resistance for now. It's trying to push back this gap down, but if you look, we have an unfilled gap down here. Then it just filled a supply level here. So it could continue to push. It got stopped around this gap right here. Um, like I said, the market rallies. We could see this rally back up to 37. This would be resistance until it can establish support here at 37, and then we'll continue to push up. You'll want to see prices push and hold, maybe gap up above $39. And that'll give you some confidence to assume that we can start moving higher back up toward this $52 range. So, like I said, Moderna it's questionable just because it's a vaccine stock, and you just want to be cautious that, you know, anything pharmaceutical related, vaccine related, can drop the prices, and we go from there. So let's go to the next one that you dropped, which was e.l.f. Somebody said BAH. I'll write that one down. I might not be able to get to all of it. I just got off work probably about 30 minutes ago, so um, I'm just gonna go through a few just to kind of get my TA across and get you guys some levels, and then I'm gonna hop off, and then I'm gonna look at a couple of more tickets later on tonight after I clean up and everything. So, um, starting off with the daily e.l.f. Yeah, seeing the nasty little head and shoulders right there on the daily. Here's the head, shoulder, flush. Little trick for finding out how low a head and shoulders are flush. If you find a neckline, which is like right there, and then you take a vertical line and you go from the top of the head down to the neckline. If it's straight, and that's about straight enough, you take that and then you come down and you drop it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to drop that low, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it kind of figures where you could possibly be seeing the price drop. So it gives you pretty much a visual of levels that you'll look for here and here and then here. So that still ain't really straight, but yeah, once you drop this line, then you can kind of line up your levels like this when you're seeing prices drop. And then once you get rid of the line, you got new levels, and then you see how it lines up with the gaps. So back to breaking this down with the fan. Let me get rid of these lines for right now. e.l.f. was doing fairly well at one point in time, along with Ota and it's one more. Ota, e.l.f. and it's one more cosmetic company. I can't think of it right now. It'll probably come to me a little bit later. But let's see how the fan levels line up on it. Like I said, I don't really use the RSI. Don't really use MACD. Like I said, I use these. I use deviations. I use the regular Fibonacci levels. Um, and they all pan out for me just because I don't have to wait on the repaint or any false breakouts. You know, if I lose a level, then I just wait until the next level gets hit. E.l. Estee Lauder. Right. Appreciate it. Um, Somebody said Tesla. Eat some dinner. I'm gonna eat some, man. I got some more stuff, some spaghetti in there, fam. So we'll see. But e.l.f. right now, e.l.f. is taking a little tank. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Right now. Hmm. All right. Right now, we're seeing prices kind of push the bottom of the -3 deviation, which kind of giving me bottoming vibes. So once I see this, I'm looking for any type of level of consolidations between here and here, which that'll tell me, all right, what to look for. Where could it we possibly form a bottom at? So if prices start to drop anywhere between this 59 to 48 level, then I'm locking in right here looking for the upside. Here's the bottom of this trend here at 40, 42. And you will make a long move back up to 98, 99, 100, somewhere around there if you want to take out like long dated contracts on e.l. Not e.l. on e.l.f. Beauty. But I did read an article on e.l.f. They said that they were getting ready to do something with their prices pretty much to um, make keep them affordable, stay affordable, be affordable if you know we happen to run into like any of these inflations and things of that nature. So I think that they could have a nice little rebound going down to the daily. So here's the gap downs, but then we're approaching the gap up levels. So these are where buyers are stepping in at, like I said, 59, and then you have another gap down at 43. It may be filled, it may not soon, but they just showed earnings. Looks like it was mixed. Not sure on the guidance either, but it's probably gonna have a downtrending price action until you know this stuff gets under control. So if I just draw, I try to find a trend for it to break out of, just to give me an idea of what to look for as far as rejections go, and that'll be the level that I want to break out of. So it'll probably be above this $98 whenever it fills this gap, and you'll probably see a breakout here and a retest of this 94 before it decides it wants to move back up to like this 131 range or so. So on e.l.f., that's what we're gonna watch for. Watch for the price to continue to fall or get bought up around this what 59 level. And then if it gets bought up there, then you can look for longs back to fill this gap and back up to like this 92 level. So I don't know. I think retail probably a benefit, you know, in the long run. But right now, like I said, earnings is just it's eating every company alive at the moment. So um, we'll just have to see how that pans out. Let's go to let me see. I looked at Moderna, e.l.f. Somebody else said AI. I haven't looked at that ticker in a minute. Last time I looked at the contracts on this thing, It was like extremely volatile, and just this tells me how long it's been since I looked at this. I just got regular trend, so um, let's clear the charts out and start from scratch. If anybody has any extra questions, somebody did say Uber. Let me look at Uber. If anybody has any questions about the game fan or me drawing them out, drop them in the comments. Let me know. I do my best to explain what it is that I'm doing, but pretty much all it is you're lining up angles. So the same way you would BAH. I'll check it out next. I think you said that one, yeah. But the same way you would line up angles when you're drawing trend lines, you just follow that same concept um, with the fan levels also. So we have a nice little trend right there on the 2-month chart, and it looked like it bounced pretty much off of that trend, which that's pretty solid. So I mean, we really don't have to draw any more levels out since that's being respected at the moment. Cool. So I'll just go ahead and scan down to the daily chart, and locus of fan. Locus of fan. I don't know what that means, but right now it bounced off of that $21 range, which is cool. Like I said, you have a gap down level here. Here's earnings. We haven't ran into one solid earnings. We watched it, go green and push to the upside. But earnings dropped it from the looks of it, and it's trying to recover back to the upside. So what we're going to want to watch for, tongue twister, is a recovery back up to this $26 range. I'm gonna go over BAH next. I'll do LEU 2, and then I'll do Uber 3. But with AI, we'll watch for this trend right here at the $21 range to continue to hold up. And if it does, then we're gonna look for a push back up to this $26 range. Now, it's not very much, so I only have 2 levels right now. This $21 range and then this $42 level. So it's a big move back to the upside if it can close above this $26 level, which would be solid. So you can go super long out the money if you would like to, and then you can go ahead and line up with this $43 range. I haven't discussed Tesla yet. I'll get to it in a little bit. I got 3 that I'm finna work on after this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna want to see prices push back up to this 26. I wouldn't go any higher of a strike price right now than this $26 strike price, because I want to see the prices, established above this before I decide that I want to continue to go long. Right now, that I can guarantee is that it's going to at least retest this $25 to $26 level. So on AI, like I said, I haven't looked at the contracts or anything, but if you're playing the options or if you're buying shares, right now it's respecting $21. And I wouldn't go any higher as far as the contract price. If you're doing short-term contracts, I wouldn't go anything higher than $26. When I say short-term, I'm talking like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Normally when you go long, 3 months, 6 months, then you can go way up here to $43. So let's just watch this at the moment, no higher than $26. And if it can establish price action above here, then you can continue to build up to this $42, $43 level and go from there. But if we scan out a little bit, you can kind of see the big consolidation here. Even though the prices are rising, just scan out and look at the consolidated levels and see what prices are actually being, held hostage at. So between 33 and then between 20. So We can see prices consolidate, and they kind of line up with the deviations also. So just watch for some sideways movement. It'd be nice if we can actually see like a little upward channel, forming like this to get a little head start and get off of this game fan trend level. I'm breaking up. Your audio's cutting in and out. Uh, Let me know if it's getting better. Let me know if it's getting better. I know at one point in time people were having to leave out and then come back in, and that fixed it. But um, right now it's saying that everything is good. But let me know if it gets better. But this is what we want to watch for. Watch for prices to build above this $26 level, and check the mic. Mic should be good. Yeah, somebody said fine. Sometimes, unfortunately, you have to jump in and jump back out. But let me know if it clears up. All right, so this is just what this is just what we are watching for. In the meantime, this for AI. Okay, cool. Say it sounds fine now. All right, bet. Um, I said that I would do BAH next. I'm not really sure what that company even does. Commercial services, miscellaneous, 109, earnings in 90 days. Okay. Okay, so all right, I'm not really sure what the company does, but oh well, we'll see what the charts say. It has been going vertical year over year, which is solid, but it may be trying to cool down. Data analysis for the government. Okay. So it may be attempting to cool down right now. As you can see, it had a solid little uptrend pattern, um, right there, and it's barely kissing it, right there on the trend line. So I'm gonna start my game fan level right there. If it lines up right. All right. Let's see if there's any more patterns in between that. I mean, that's been too sharp of a drop in a short amount of time. So we're just gonna watch to see if this fan is gonna be respected. If I add the deviations on there, just to see what type of confluence levels I got. It looks like it may hold up. It looks like it might. So that may have been the cool down that it needed. Yeah. So it might be solid right now. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with this little gap down here at 50. But as far as right now on the daily level, um, it looks like this 97 to 98 level would be pretty solid. So um, if we see prices dip, which is very much possible, with this little supply level right here, you can see some consolidation sideways, or you can see price push up to the around this 112. Because here's your chop fest right here. Here's where you could see prices chop it until it builds some support above this 117 level, and then continues to make its way, up from there. But we do have some choppiness Just from the breakdown, even right here, the chop levels here with a little staircase there until it dropped down. So definitely get it on discount if it drops down around like that $98 range. If we go and scan out and look at the bigger frame, bigger levels, it can retest back up here to 200. Like I said, this is the power of using the GAN fan. You find a solid trend, and once you find a solid trend, you're able to take out the money strike prices, and then you can put time on it. 3, 6 month time on it, and you can develop a reasonable style of trading long term, even if you're buying shares. And once the fan levels hit, then all right, I can scoop up shares here. The only thing you don't do is scoop up shares on the uptrend because you don't want a rejection and it falls back down. And that's a lot of what we see with the meme trading. People hop in too high in the levels. Trades start going parabolic. You see it break 193, then you see it push this 260. People start grabbing shares up here, and then it has to come back down and retest 199, and then people don't know, where am I buying in at? What how do I average down? The game fan, like I said, it doesn't repaint. If it does break this trend, what you do have to do is go ahead and find another level to for the fan to catch, and then you can start back rebuilding your portfolio or your positions from there. So right now, BAH looks good for a dip buy. You don't want to catch a falling knife. So if it breaks a fan level, that's why I said you want to wait until you can find a decent trend. But as long as it's within this fan, then you can make sure that these levels are respected. You can use different indicators, RSI, MACD, anything that you like to use in Confluence, and then that can help you try to find the bottom also. So, like I said, right now this $98 level looks solid. Long term, it could go back up and retest because it let's see, this was, why is it locked? Okay, so this was just November of last year. This was just November, and now it's starting to fall. So just as fast as it fall, it can recover also. So that's what we want to watch for. It had a straight drop to the downside. So once we start building this uptrend, you know, well, we can start it right here. Once we start building this uptrend, it's possible we can see a V-shaped recovery if it does decide that it wants to do that. If not, then we'll just watch it make for a consolidation. But for the most part, you can take this upside and go long on that as long as this level holds up. You might see some sideways movement, kind of like RX or something like that. But for the most part, like I said, it's been vertical for the past couple of years, so it might be a decent stock just seeing a cool down right now. LEU, Centrus Energy Corp. All right, what they do? Non-energy minerals, other minerals, no dividends. Looks like it performs. Nuclear fuel and services for nuclear power industry. Uranium. Somebody was telling me about uranium stocks um, a while ago. That's suffering right now though. I don't know. It can't be a true chart. Not with it being that high in price. Okay, that's more like it. I was on the daily, but I don't know why it was trading that high. Could be some reverse splits or something. So we'll just have to take it like this, since when I go out to the bigger time frame to show it in the 2000s. So right now that's a solid trend. Zoom in. That'll be a solid trend. So right now, fan levels can go right there, and then another fan level can go right here. So what that does when I combine two fan levels, it just gives me historical levels from way back when, and then it gives me more of a recent level also. And I use both of them together along with my deviations to try to time a bottom. So what happens is if the structure breaks right here below this $73 range, I have another level to fall back on, just because it has had such strength in the previous trends. So right now it trades to the upside without much of these green gaps, but it has sharp downfalls. So it filled it kind of like SQQ chart right now. It gapped down here, it filled to the upside, earnings came around, it shot up to 625, it shot up, it filled this supply level, and eventually it liquidated back down to post pre-ER levels. So here we are now. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. So it does have some gaps to fill to the downside. It just filled a major one on a 1 hour chart. We want to see how this holds up, because right now it is maintaining. Looks like, I mean, it's not really strong. No. It doesn't really have much of a strong trend level right now within the hourly charts. It's kind of just choppy, looking like it's having a bull and bear fight at these price levels right now. Like it could dump down, but it could pick back up. So it just depends. You'll want to see if the prices get respected around this $75 range, and see how strong the buyers are going to be right here. So if this $82 level doesn't hold up and they still want prices to go down a little bit lower, then you're going to watch for the $75 price to be respected. If it breaks structure here and drops below 73, then we're going to watch for the 67 and this gap to get filled right here. And that'll probably be the end of it. You know, they'll be and got the price as low as they want it. And then we can see prices move back to the upside. As you can see, this gap right here kind of falls in line with this -3 deviation. So once that locks in, you can see price moves back up. You can buy shares here or options back up to 75, 76, and then you can look for the recovery back up here, because this is eventually want to get filled just like all the rest of the gaps. Looks like it's super volatile to both sides, the up and to the downside. So it eventually want to retest this 111. You would just probably have to have some time or patience, because as you can see, it's just as high up as it is down. So right now it's in the middle, and I wouldn't want to touch it in either direction. So just be careful, be cautious on this, on where you buy. I'll wait for either a retest down here or possibly a push down to 68 to 69 to see how that's gonna line up too, because it's pushing in a straight line right now. So yeah, just be cautious on that. I wouldn't buy nowhere in the middle. Wait for something to happen or a level to form. That's LEU, and then I'll do Uber. Uber's been solid, very solid. Um, let's go to the 6 month. They've been on a straight vertical movement since IPO back in 2019. Nice uptrend right there. Yeah, so a nice little solid trend on Uber there. 3 month, 12. So I mean, we're getting a solid GAN fan level just based off the 12-month candles. As of right now, it's kind of in the middle. It's in the neutral zone. Whenever you see prices at that zero, that kind of lets you know it's in a neutral zone. So that $75, I wouldn't go either way. It just pushed and broke above this support or supply level right here at 78. And as we saw prices drop back down, we could see a little sideways movement before it actually breaks back to the downside. So here's a little trend on the daily right now that we could watch for. So even if it does cool off a little bit more, we want to see if this trend right here is going to be respected. And if not, if we see prices break below, then we could see the next move down, back down here toward this $58 to $59 level. Upside right now is at the 86 because we have seen um, this this fan level retested twice as of now, and it failed both times. So right now, anything above 86, 85 to $86, 87, um, we could possibly see it break to the upside, but then it might fail too on a third time. So I always look for safer entries on the bottom levels. Normally, when the stock's up here, I don't advise people to just go and grab it unless you're just you know going for like a day trade or a weekly trade or something like that. But I'm always watching trends like this to grab on the bottom of a trend and play it to the upside. I was telling somebody if you're playing calls and you see something up here, grab at the 37 strike price, well the 37 line, take the strike price up here at 48 out the money, and then that'll line you up, with some decent profits. If it retests again, you take it back to the upside and you just play the fan levels as they work their way to the upside. So eventually, if it comes up and it just builds support above 86, then the fan levels show you that it has an upside potential of 168. And that's not going to be immediate, of course. That's going to be more so something along the lines of down, year over year. This is July of 2025 right now with an expectancy around that level. So earnings will play a part into building support levels above 85 and just price action in itself. So um, I wouldn't really touch Uber right now until it comes back down and touches around like this $59 to $60 range, and then we'll just go from there and see what happens. So that is Uber, and I think I'll take one or two more. Um, Tesla. I'll look at Tesla. All right, so Trump just announced that he'll be pausing the tariffs on automakers, so we could possibly see some movement to the upside on Tesla, maybe Ford and GM and those other automakers too. We just have to see how they digest the news. Right now, we haven't completely filled this gap to the downside on Tesla. I have a bottom around 255 right now. So we'll just have to continue to watch that, see if prices can build above 283. If we can form some support above 283, then of course, then we can push back up to 320. As you can see, we've been seeing a huge meltdown from Tesla ever since the inauguration, or yeah, think the inauguration. And as you see how prices gets drained once these gap downs start forming. So now that we see them getting drained, we're looking for buyers to step in down to 255, and we just build from support going from there. You know, once prices can build back above this 282 to 284 level, you can take out the money strike prices at 320. And you know, knowing Tesla, when prices can move fast, premiums get pushed, but we also do have a gap down here at this 218 level. So, you know, if we just put time on it, um, the fan level lines up with it eventually at 220. So, um, you can see this is August that I had to space it all the way out. But like I said, the fan levels are just solid. You just have to know how to play them, and you have to know which way to trade them. So Tesla, as of right now, it still has an unfilled gap down to 255. Anywhere below that, I mean, I just think we seeing Tesla on discount. We can see a move all the way back up to the 313 level. We may have some gaps somewhere. Yeah. So 1 hour chart shows a gap back at 328 to 330. So price is gonna eventually want to get magnetized back up to that. We'll just have to see this downtrend get broken first. And then once that gets broken, then we'll see the move back up to the upside. Um, it's actually another little gap down but around this 240. I mean, gap up around 244 to 243. So just have to watch and see how this holds up, how they digest the tariff news. I think unemployment or something came out today, and it was um, way below what they expected. So market's just it's just kind of funky right now. I wouldn't. I'm playing levels day to day. So did Tesla, AI, e.l.f, mRNA, Amazon. I look at Amazon and I look at RGTI. I think that's a quantum stock. And then SCHG. Sounds familiar. I have to check it out and see. And then those will be my last couple of ones. Appreciate the fires, bro. Doing my best to get some insight, man. So, um, Amazon. Amazon had a nice balance, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So here we are. It was approaching a bottom here around like 196. This was Monday. Prices dropped as low as 197. Support was at 196.17. So if we push, if we can hold this 207 level, then we can see eventually prices want to move and retest this 225 zone. So that'll be the levels to watch. Long term 242. As you can see, we pushed up here, and then it shortly broke down back to previous support level. So it took a little while. This is from 1127. We retested this level February 25th. So as you can see, like I said, GAN fan levels, they stay respected. You just have to know at what, time in respective to price to, load up on calls or puts. But this is definitely a cheat code for shares if you buy that. You know what I'm saying? So let's watch Amazon to hold above this 207 level going forward, and if we can establish some support here, I definitely want to see a gap up. Even though we feel a lot of buying gap up here where buyers should have stepped in, we still had a little minor gap down right here. So that could force prices to drop a little bit, possibly back down to this little consolidated zone. Pop up, man. There we go. Possibly back down to this little consolidated zone at 204. But if we can hold this, then look for the prices to push back up to 225 if the markets are going to want to rally. If we rally. So right now, I'm not sold on the rally yet. I think we're not completely out the woods. Um, I think everything is just kind of day by day, especially with Trump speaking and seeing, how the tariff stuff is gonna digest. Some people placing tariffs back on the U.S., U.S. placing tariffs on other people. So, like I said, you have to be mindful of the data that's dropping and what Trump's gonna do because it's kind of pretty unpredictable. So, um, let's just watch and see how 207 holds up going forward, and if we can maintain this, then we can watch for the next push to the upside. We seen the meltdown. The meltdown kind of happened like right there. So um, we're not completely out the woods. It can retest the 196 zone, and this would be a level where I kind of say, all right, let's go long there. But if we come back down to 196, then you can take like the 207 to 208 strike prices back to the upside. And then you average in because that's a big move up. As you can see, the windows get kind of smaller. Like even if we drop down to like 191, this is a smaller window from this 207 down to 196 and then 196 down to 191. So the risk to reward gets higher as we push down back to the upside, unless we break below 191 and see a drastic fall to 183. So, like I said, the levels are solid. You just have to know how to play them and how to time them. So, that's Amazon, RGTI, quantum computing. I remember when all this was going on. I'm big on IBM. I like IBM, but my thing with quantum computing is so far away. Well, not so far away, but it is far away. I think this would be a solid investment for like your kids or something like that, or 20 years from now. Microsoft did come out with say they have a chip that's supposed to um, expedite quantum computing. We'll just have to see. My biggest thing is I always say, show me what you're talking about. Show me your product and make me a believer. If you don't have anything to show me, then everything is speculation until further notice, pretty much. So it has a solid trend here on the 6 month. So I think we can use that, to be respected. Let's see, RGTI. So gap downs is pushing the price down. I think this gap right here came from DeepSeek, the DeepSeek scare. We see this on all the semiconductors and things of that nature. So it pushed this $14 range and it eventually sold off because it couldn't get back above it. And right now it's trying to find the bottom around the mid $6 range, and the next bottom would be down here around this mid $3 range. So if you're in it or if you're looking for a spot to kind of average down, trying to see the comments. I just buy and hold long term and dollar cost average. That's smart. That's smart. But if you're looking at average down, I would say, swipe some at about $6, mid $6, and then again around the $4 range for the ride back up. I do think quantum stocks to come back. Smaller unfilled gap fill down here at $1.87. Not sure what it's going to take to get prices down that way, but we did have buyers step in on a 4-hour chart, or should be stepping in on a 4-hour chart, and maybe this is just an overreaction, just to get a little bit better prices for the move back up to $14. So what is that indicator? It's the GAN fan. So RGTI and me see what the other one was. SCHG. SCHG. Schwab. I didn't know that. Schwab is getting beat up right now. Fill the gap down right here on the daily, on the 4 hour. Look at the 6 month. So of course, great vertical movement year over year. Looks like a solid trend. Map out some levels. Um, it actually looked like it's trying to break a trend. Well, now it's respecting it very tightly, very, very tightly. Okay. So I'll throw a fan on this trend right here, and then I'll throw another one right here. If it'll line up. All right, cool. So I think it's at a point to buy. As long as we hold above this $25 range, I think we good to buy. So if we drop any lower, right now it's buyers are stepping in right here on the daily chart. So anything below $26 right now, in my opinion, is discount. It's approaching the -3 deviation, which is also kind of telling me that, it's trying to find a bottom. But as long as it hold up above this $25 range, it should be good back up to around this 29, mid $29 range. So I think it's just falling with the rest of the market right now. But it does have a nice solid uptrend. So it's doing what the market does. It's going up, and then it has a little breather, and then it could make a move back up. So I think if it goes anywhere around this mid $25 range, you can load back up, grab some nice long calls back up to 30 or 29, somewhere around there, and go from there. So let's see, that's SCH. I think that's pretty much most people's thing. And I'll do spy and Q, and then I'm gonna wrap it up there. It's been an hour pretty much. So so right now we seeing a rally back up. We're seeing a rally back to the upside. And how I look at it, this rally right now is needed. It's definitely needed. Um, because stocks have been getting beat up because they haven't been sure about how to digest the tariff information. So, um, when was this? Monday we saw a big bearish engulfing candle take over from Friday's price action. So what I was telling you guys is anytime you see a bearish engulfing candle, the following days you can see like a 50% retracement on this, candle right here. Stop loss would be above this candle's highs. Once you take that out, then the candles then is then invalidated. So right now, if I let's do moving averages. This is the MAs that I use at times just to see the sentiment or the trend. Kind of has the cloud feature in there. Got the 180 to 200, and then I got 21, 34, and 50. Those are the moving averages that I like to use. So we're seeing the actual moving averages come back down, and eventually we're gonna see it, get challenged around these moving averages up here and in between here. So, like I said, we could see a 50% movement, as you can see on the 4 hour. This is the first half of the day. Then we saw a little bit movement back up, and then it rejected the second half of the day for the move down. So right now we're just kind of seeing prices recover back to the upside. As of right now, I got a bottom around 566. I have a top around 596. So that's what we have to monitor going into the remainder of the week. If we gap above this 180, 200 moving average, it's possible we take out these highs above 597, like I said, and reclaim the trend for the move back to the upside. Pretty sure it ain't gonna happen that like that, but reclaim this level right here, then we'll make the move back up to the upside to go and challenge them all-time highs. So we just got to be cautious, like you say. Sometimes these moving averages do get taken out, and you see the price build and then take off above it. So that's just what we have to watch for. It is a lagging indicator. So like I said, the game fan is the only thing that's solid for me as far as trusting levels and rejections. Those are the only things that I really trust outside of these gaps. Whenever I see prices filling in these gaps, we haven't gapped down, honestly. We haven't had anything that says bears are just taking control of the price action yet. Once we gap down below this 584 level, then we really have something to worry about. Other than that, this is just the price being um, drained down for cheaper entries. So we just have to keep watching that, see how the prices are gonna push. Qs kind of have the same similar style. We actually retested a few trends down here at 490 and almost at 484, but the 490 bounced back up to 504. That was a nice move, even though it was kind of a choppy way back up. So going into the remainder of the week, if we can reclaim this 505 level, then that's when we'll want to see support form for the move back up to 514, 513, 515, somewhere around there. So just keep watch of the moving averages coming down. We could see some rejection, but we're gonna have to see prices build above that, kind of like we see over here, in order for prices to move back up and then go and retest all these gap downs and gap ups. I'm actually kind of glad we got out this consolidated range, because it was just making it hard to trade it. But like I said, we just have to keep monitoring price action over the next couple of days, see how news gets digested, holds on tariffs, and I think we had some more economic data that had to come out, but we'll just have to check in with that. And I'll probably get Fridge Financials to tap in with y'all on that on the weekend and go from that. So we'll just have to watch to see how things go. And I hope that y'all had got some good insight on some of these tickers. And I'll post them up on after hours a little bit later, just so y'all can have a screenshot, save them, do what you got to do with them, have some good levels to buy, and go from there. So appreciate everybody for tapping in, dropping tickers. If you have any questions, reach out to me on there. I do it most of all of these charts and post them in the Patreon and in the Discord, so you can tap in there if you want to just need a good community that you want to trade with. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits here. I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat and do something from there. So um, always check for the pre-market analysis in the morning. Give you guys some good levels going from there, and see you guys in the morning.